And we are back again. It's your friendly neighborhood film watchers. We are Frankly Football. I'm your humble host, Brandon, and I got my man, Honey Grand, set it off, Chris, with me. Chris, we decided that since we're such draft aficionados, draft consigliaries, if you will, we thought that it would be a good idea to look through each team in the NFL because we're not just Dallas Cowboys fans, we are fans of the game in general, and talk about their outlook heading into the draft.
Okay.
Right. And
Okay.
I think that's not only a good way to get our names out there to more people, more different fandoms, but just to flex our football muscles a little bit. This is like a good mental exercise, Chris.
I mean, it's always, Jay-Z said you got to go do push-ups. You got to go do the mental gymnastics, man. So we want to talk about the different divisions of football, and no greater place in the start is in the AFC East. I got some buddies who are big-time Miami Dolphins fans. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down. Huh? Well,
They're struggling right now.
They've been struggling for a long time, but we want to try to break down, their needs, what they were trying to do, and things of that nature, and just see if we can, shed some insight to them, as well as kind of brush up what the whole league's looking like. So you've got the Miami Dolphins coming off a dismal season.
Yeah.
The record last year. Was.
I think they won 7 games. Yeah, they were 7-10.
Okay, so 7-10 football team ended up firing the head coach, Mike McDaniel.
Firing the head coach, telling their quarterback Tua Tagovailoa or Tua turn the ball over, as he was so disaffectionately called by some of their fans.
True.
They also decided that they didn't need him anymore and decided to take $99 million in dead
to
cap.
the head.
Yeah.
To the head. I mean, they saw Seattle do that. No, they saw Seattle do that a couple years back with Russell Wilson. So they said, hey, they can do the same thing too. They also got rid of a lot of pieces around on that football team. They got rid of Jalen Phillips. They got rid of Waddle. Jalen Waddle. Bradley Chubb. They exported a lot of pieces, man.
Yes.
But they also turned around, walk into this draft with 11 draft picks.
Yes.
So they can be in 2 different directions. They won 7 games. They can start the rebuild now, or get pieces around it, and then hopefully next year, go get their quarterback of the future and try to make it work out. Or they can go a lot of different directions, man. So let's take a look at them.
So the thing about the Dolphins is they really need a lot of everything. They decided to part ways with their number 1 and number 2 receivers. I don't believe that they're going to be the team that would draft a quarterback in the first 2 days this year, but they need a quarterback. Malik Willis isn't the future. We can kind of just say that he's a stopgap guy.
I mean,
they need offensive line, they need defense, they need a running back to pair along with A-Chain if he's going to still be there after draft day. They need a lot, Chris. The Dolphins are a team that can just draft the best player on the board at every single pick, and it doesn't matter if they double up or triple up or quadruple up. They will have upgraded at that spot.
Well, I mean, the thing with Malik Willis, he's 4 years into the league. Okay, next year will be his 5th season. He's pretty much, he kind of, once he got out of Tennessee in that situation and had a little bit better coaching in Green Bay, he looks like a piece you can maybe plant there. And if you've got to draft your quarterback of the future later, you can go ahead and get him for the quarterback of the future, and he can be a good bridge. He can be maybe a good bridge, maybe a sturdy bridge in that situation. But that's what we're trying to be able to do. So I like what they're doing with Malik. I definitely like what they're doing with Malik. A-Chain is a different thing because explosive running back, but do we think he's an every down back, 20-25 carry back? That's the
Remains to be seen.
Right.
Remains to be seen. He never really got a lot of carries per game in college for real.
Right.
So that was just one of the things that carried on into the league with him being like a part of a committee in Miami.
True. They I mean he was being a committee in Miami, and I think they had Mostert there for a long time. And then, they had Raheem Mostert there for a long time, and then they decided to move on for him. and do what
And
they
also drafted Jalen Wright, running back out of Texas. I want to say 2 years ago, pretty early. So it really remains to be seen if A-Chain, if he stays there, is going to be like that bona fide number one guy, or if they're going to try to sprinkle in some Jalen Wright, you know. And excuse me, I'm in Tennessee, not Texas. My bad. But here's the thing, though, Chris. Like we said, the Dolphins have a gang of picks. They got 7 picks in the top 100. Just going off of the top of my head, they got 2 in the first. I want to say 1 in the second, and like 4 picks in the third round.
Okay,
so they have enough where they can mess around and really do a good chunk of rebuilding in year 1 of this rebuild.
Okay,
like I said, they can look at every single pick and just draft the best player available. Right now, Jalen Tolbert is their number 1 receiver. So they would be a team that would be heavily looking at receiver with their first pick, pick number 11.
But if no, I wouldn't. Well, gosh, I didn't even know Jalen Tolbert was on their roster. But okay, great, yes. Jalen Tolbert's over there. But because they need so much with their offensive line situation, who's their left tackle?
Their left tackle is Patrick Paul. He's been in the league for a few years, okay. You know. But he was a relatively high traded pick. I think we're going into year 3 of him, and he was a second round pick. So okay. I think that they're gonna kind of try to rock with him, you know, okay. At the very least for this year. But then you got to worry about on the opposite side too, where they got Austin Jackson on the opposite side.
Okay. And he's a what? Second year player, third year player?
No. He's been in the league for a few years. I want to say they drafted him in the COVID year.
All right. So so your tackles are pretty decent.
Yeah. But their interior offensive line has been bad for quite some time.
Okay.
Very bad for quite some time.
Okay, so if you could go wide receiver 1, you could go wide receiver, or you could go offensive lineman. You could upgrade the tackle position as well. Yeah. So the tackles are definitely played.
Like Chris, whoever's the best player available, the Dolphins need help at almost every single position.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see if you're gonna go take an experienced explosive player, you can pretty much whoever you could sit, take a ham sandwich, and pick away and hope these guys come through. If you got 11 draft picks, how many picks we got in the top 100? Is it 5, 6 players in the top 100?
They got 7 picks in the top 100.
Yeah, you can pretty much that's a ham sandwich draft, and I think that's what we're gonna start saying. When a team is as bad as the Dolphins are, you can just sit and have a ham sandwich, and whoever falls to you, like you said, go and take them and move on. Write the name down and hand the card in. So you can't miss anywhere.
Here's why I wonder if they would go receiver at pick number 11, Chris. Because think about the difference between a guy like Carnell Tate, right? That's some people's number 1 receiver, some people's number 2, but just wide receiver 1, right? And then the pick that they got from Denver for trading Jalen Waddle is pick number 30. That could be someone like Omar Cooper. Going down to like a team's 5th or 6th receiver. So would you rather get the best receiver and a cool DB or linebacker, or would you rather get the best DB and then a cool receiver? You know what I'm saying?
True. And based on what they've already tried to do in free agency, all they've been doing is trying to get clear the deck. So
yes,
yeah,
11. And here's the thing. The Dolphins have more money in dead cap. They have $179 million in dead cap than they have in actual salaries on their team, Chris.
Yeah, they've really cleared the deck. So yes. You can sit there and say at 11, they probably go with the best offensive weapon they can get, so they can be able to groom them. Not a good word. Develop them.
There we go.
Develop them. Never know. You can get groomed with that. Develop him.
Here's the thing.
Into the guy you want.
But here's the thing, though, Chris. I would even say that Miami wouldn't even be out of the contention for Jeremiah Love. He would probably mess around and be the best player on the board if he's there at pick 11.
He could be there as well. Yeah. But because they still have A-Chain, who they still believe is an explosive back, can do a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
You probably want to go get cement and get a number one.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go get Carnell Tate. You can go get my man from Arizona State.
Yep.
You can go, you can go a lot of different directions. So yeah, you probably want to do that. And then at 30, go get whatever you choose at that point. Defensively, what are we looking at? What do they? I know we said we got rid of everything. Mm-hmm. What do they have defensively that you like, Brandon?
Okay, so they still have Jordan Phillips on their team for right now. They still have Jordan Brooks on their team for right now. They still have Chop Robinson on their team for right now.
Okay.
All of those guys are like relatively new in the league. Chop Robinson was just drafted 2 years ago. He was drafted in 2024. So he's going into year 3. Jordan Phillips, he's a little older, by way of Buffalo. I think he was drafted by them. Actually, he might even be off of their team by now. He might be a free agent. But Jordan Brooks is also a young guy. He was drafted in the COVID year.
Okay.
So those two guys up front, you got Chop Robinson, who's also out of Penn State, edge rusher, and then you got Jordan Brooks at the linebacker position. Those are two guys who I'm a fan of on their team, and I wish that, one of these teams could kind of trade off of them,
and bring him in.
Yeah, absolutely. But this isn't a Cowboys show. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But then their defense besides that is just a whole lot of gaps, Chris.
Okay, so because you have so many picks in the top 100, you can sit there and pick the best defensive end.
Yep.
They could go get any defensive end that they want. They can go get a Cassius Howell. They'll be able to go get, because everybody they're going to be picking are just going to be pieces that they're going to be developing for the years to come. They are a team that could turn around and do a totally different situation. Maybe go ahead and get these young guys, put them on the field, let them take their lumps, and then get into the quarterback sweepstake of next year. Yeah. And they don't even really have to be terribly bad. They can just turn around. If they go 7-10 to be competitive, they will fall into a good young quarterback on the board for them next year.
Sure. I think that next year, especially because they're dealing with all of their dead money issues now.
Right.
So that they can really start this thing over next year. So, yeah, I could definitely see them being a team that would go ahead and not be pressed about quarterback this year because they already put the Band-Aid on it. They put the Band-Aid on it by paying Malik, two quarter pounder with cheese combos and like a weekend at a hotel, in South Beach. You know what I'm saying?
Did they give him any fries and a drink? They just gave him 2 quarter pounders?
They ain't supersized. They ain't supersized though.
They ain't give him large. Yeah.
Yeah, nah. They ain't even do that. But here's the thing though, Chris. I think that the Dolphins they really gotta hope that they hit on this coach.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel, he was like one of those new age coaches. You know what I'm saying? Younger than a lot of the players. With his jeans a little skinny, a little tapered. You know what I'm saying? Always ran into the locker room. That was something that they always put the camera on at halftime on him just sprinting to the locker room. Yes.
Being athletic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and he was offensive minded. So now they've changed things up. They got a new coach. So you got to hope that you hit on that next coach, Chris.
I mean, Jeff Hafley.
Jeff Hafley.
Yes. Yeah, Jeff Hafley coming from Boston College. He may be. Now, this is the sad part. Jeff might be, quote unquote, the cleaning lady. You want to say what the cleaning lady is? Or do you know what the cleaning lady is?
Yeah, just make a way for the next guest.
Jeff gonna get the house tidy. Gonna take all the hits, which for me is kind of unusual because they usually leave that up to our more melanated coaches to be the cleaning lady.
You said it, not me.
Hey, I'm telling the truth. I'm just here. Hey, man, don't shoot the messenger. Just know what we see.
Yeah.
So Jeff coming from Boston College, 22 and 26 in his career there, 46 years old, getting his first job as a pro coach, 11 draft picks. Jeff can kind of get the house clean, get it orderly, get people disciplined, find out who wants to play, find out who want to play, get a lot of young talent, right? turn around and start getting things going the right direction. They may mess around and go 7-10 again, even with Malik Willis. Shoot, don't let him win 8 games, right?
Chris, I hate to cut you off.
Come on.
If the Dolphins win 7 games with Malik Willis, he will see that as a success.
No, I mean he'll see
because you're talking about a talent deficient team with a quarterback that isn't necessarily looked at as the most talented. I mean, if Malik Willis wins 7 games, he will see that as a success.
Who, Malik Will or Jeff Will?
Yeah, Malik Willis.
Okay,
he would see that as a success.
Listen, what we're trying to do, but you got to understand this: if you're going to turn around and get everything in order, and then fall into next year, and the rich quarterback that we have next year, they may just be getting the house clean for somebody else to come take it over. That's what they do with the NFL. They'll let somebody else take all the hits and then bring somebody else in. It depends on how Jeff deals with them and how they look. I don't think this is a quarterback or a quarterback coach situation that you're going to see 10, 15 years, 5, 6 years down the road. This may be a 2-year fix, and they turn around and bring another guy in to right the ship and get them back to the place they want them to be. Because in their mindset, if we just get everything in order, we become a more attractive house for somebody else to come and want to live in. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I agree. And the thing about Jeff Hafley is, last year he was with the Packers. They kind of tapered off as the year went on, especially after the loss of Micah Parsons.
Got you. So defensive-minded coach, right?
Yes.
Defensive-minded coach, which might be the new craze. I mean, might be the new trend now since, Mike McDonald, defensive-minded coach, 3 years, win the Super Bowl. They may think that. So they got a lot of things that they can work with, but with those 11 draft picks, I think they have a great opportunity to clear the decks, get that dead cap money situation out the way, and they just have a lot of talent bubbling and budding all over the place with that many darts to throw at the board.
I don't believe that the Dolphins are going to truly try to be competitive this year. I've been saying that ever since they've started offloading the talent. They got Tyreek Hill out of there as much as he wanted to get up out of there. They traded off Jalen Waddle, got rid of all of the guys like Bradley Chubb and all of that stuff. They even traded what was it? Who did they trade to the Eagles last year? I forget. But
Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips. They traded Jalen Phillips to the Eagles last year.
Eagles. Turn around, now he's a rich guy out in
got his bread.
Carolina. Yeah, became a rich guy in Carolina. Yep.
So I just believe that they aren't a team that are going to be taken seriously this year. And that's okay. Look, man, they are embracing the tank. That is cool.
I don't think they have to embrace a tank. And we've talked about, because they're 5. Listen, we're not going to talk about the 27 draft class yet, because we ain't got through the 26 draft class.
Yeah.
But there are at least 5. There are 5 quarterbacks in the 27 draft. They don't have to tank. They don't have to tank. They're going to be a talented guy somewhere along the way. I think what they want to do is change the mindset and the culture of trying to have an identity, and that he's a defensive coach. If they got an identity, and then they can turn around and then get blessed to pick whomever they pick next year in 27 for a quarterback and implement him there. Because the first couple of years with a young quarterback, you want to he can rely on a good sound defense, good running game, and things of that nature. And they can put all those pieces in place this year.
Yeah. They could put young pieces in place, but they're going to have to, have a good free agency next year. And matter of fact, Chris, you brought up something that made me kind of reinforce my opinion that they were embracing the tank. Chris, we already talking about the 27 draft class for them.
No, we're only talking about the 27 draft class because they don't have a quarterback that you like. You don't like Malik Willis. You don't think Malik Willis is a bona fide starter. You don't think Malik Willis can be a guy that you can build your franchise around.
And
I don't believe
Quinn
that.
Ewers is made out of paper mache.
Say who now?
And Quinn Ewers is made out of paper mache.
I mean, all I'm saying is they don't have a bona fide bona fide starter in your mind right now. And I'm with you on that. I'm just saying with 11 draft picks, you can set the table across the board and get pieces on the offense to be able to have him develop along with Jalen Tolbert, and then turn around on the defense side.
Chris, their two most known receivers are Jalen Tolbert and Tutu Atwell.
There's only one word. There's only one statement that fits that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. So, like I said, B, we're trying to give hope to the hopeless. We're trying to give something for a team that they've been a Dolphin fan their whole life. Mm-hmm. We're here to tell you this year is going to be a year of.
It's going to be a tough year.
It's going to be a year where you're going to see how these young guys develop. You're going to be the doormat this year. You're going to be, you're going to be the Washington Generals. You're for those who ever watched the Harlem Globetrotters, that's who you're going to be this year. But hope is on the horizon if you hit on some of these draft picks. If you hit on of these 11, if you hit on 7, hey, 27 will look a lot better, and then you'll start being able to look like you can compete in 28.
Yeah. I do think that if you hit on half of your draft picks, you got a good outlook. You got a good outlook.
Definitely got a good outlook.
But I do think that it's important that they hit on their 2 day 1 picks. If you're committed to taking one of those wide receivers at 11, make sure it's the one that's good. With pick number 30, if you mess around and get a guard like
ham sandwich, B. Anybody they get is going to be better than who they have already.
Sure,
that's ham sandwich. So those first, I think it's 6 that they have in 5.
7.
That they have. Okay,
7 in the top 100.
Of those 7 in the top 100, you got hit on 5.
Hit on 4.
You got hit on 5.
Five is optimistic. 5 is optimistic.
If you can't find
3.5 is at 50%. I'm rounding that up to 4.
Top
Chris.
100. I'm going to give them a little more grace. You should be able to hit on 5 guys in the top 100.
Sure.
It ain't that hard. And because you have so much, it's not like you're going at, oh well, this guy might be better. Anybody you get is going to be better than what you have already.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true. That is true. I do think that there's nowhere to go but up in your wide receiver room. With the interior offensive line, I do think it's nowhere to go but up.
Quarterback,
especially at center. Aaron Brewer is really bad. Okay. Aaron Brewer is really bad at center.
Gotcha.
So I think that you don't really have anywhere to go but up from there. I think that their defensive back room is struggling. They brought back Minkah Fitzpatrick last year, and now he is gone just like that. He's now in the Jets. So I think that their defensive back room can really improve all across the board. So yeah, in a lot of places, Chris, if they draft a guy, he can compete, especially in those top 100 picks.
If you draft a guy, you expect him to be a starter because he's going to have to come in and play immediately. Because I don't think the guys in front of him is going to be much better than him. So it's a good situation. So the outlook I have, to close this video out for the Dolphins is ham sandwich.
Anybody make a sandwich and just look at the top of your board.
That's it. Let your board fall out. No matter where it falls, you're going to be good. You don't have to pick all 11 offensive guys. You can say, I'm going to pick 5 offensive guys. I'm going to pick 6 defensive guys and get after it. That's the best thing that's going to be able to happen for them.
Okay.
All right.
So if you are a fan of the Dolphins, you know what I'm saying, or if you're a fan of any other team, we're going to be doing one of these videos for each and every team. Some will be longer than others for teams that, have a laundry list of needs and woes and things of that nature, like Miami. Some will be shorter for some of these teams that don't really need much, True. But in the meantime, I need you to do those 4 very important things. I need you to like the video. I need you to subscribe. I need you to like the video. And most importantly, I need you to comment. We try to do our best to interact with our comment section and engage. So yeah, that puts us in that algorithm. All 4 of those things are those 4 forms of digital currency that helps us, just improve the channel day by day.
And it costs you nothing to do it.
Nothing at all. Just a couple Twitter fingers.
That's it.
Chris, go ahead and land this plane, brother.
Hey man, listen, man. Me, like B said, do the 4, man. Come and check us out. We are Frankly Football, just two guys who love sports, who love the NFL, and we're just trying to widen who we are, and we're just trying to reach every fan base out here. There's 32 of them. 32 of them. We love one more in particular. If you can see the star behind me, you know who we rocking with. But as always, man, we'll be Frankly Football. So until next time,
peace.